time to rise and go home. Any man, any man, any man, any man in another man's house. Any man, any man, any man, any man in another man's house. All right, rise up. Good morning and welcome. It's AllAhWeTV. We're here. We're back. Wonder why? This what happened. We come to work early. You know when your customer going work late and everything that just flow, but then you come up, you throw out the system. We show up early today and the system something acting crazy. But that's not no problem. We're back. We're right here. Facebook had kicked out and we brought it back up so we can make sure we're online on Facebook. We promised an interview with Mr. Peter Bailey, and Peter Bailey is here. If you're not familiar with Peter Bailey is an award-winning journalist who did the big documentary and when we were going through the Irma Maria series. But before you talk about that, this brother here had a top TV program, interviewing all the artists, all the stars. And, you know, he left that to share our story of the Irma Maria recovery and share to people all around the world who we are and that we need help. You know, but this man was on top of the game and he stopped it right here. He's back. Nightcap is back. He's here in the Virgin Islands. You said you're here. You're on a family emergency.
Yeah, my mother had a stroke.
Mom had a stroke.
And first off, man, I just want to tell you, congrats, you know. I've seen the evolution of I remember when we did the first screening of the first Unbreakable film, you were one of the first people to interview me down at UVI.
Yes.
And you had the one little camera moving around, and look, now you got a whole studio, man. So
a content house.
Yeah, content house. So
I'm
proud to see. It's always good to see Virgin Islands forward thinking, because, you know, success is about discipline and consistency. You know, people don't understand that it's about consistency, and you've been consistent, and now we're here, man. But yes,
we said, God, but this is what we're going to do, Peter. You and I, we're going to have a good conversation. Mm-hmm. What I want to do is let's tell them real quick who's logged on because we stepped off and we came back. We got to let them know, of course, the time is about 7:20 a.m. It's Friday, it's TGIF, and let's just show you what events are coming up this weekend. I can't believe it's the weekend right here. I can't believe it's this event. Is the DA Carnival warm-up to Saturday, January 25th, Pier 22, Asa Bantan, Trilogy, Unstoppable Shacks, Triple K, and Malcolm Vex is the camouflage edition. Doors open at 10 p.m. You know, this is brought to you by Anush 242 Entertainment and Exclusive, the brand new Carnival troupe, brought to you by Anush 242, and they got a Juve troupe, the Wet Fetters Inc. So that's over there at Pier 22, you know, Triple K with the big jam, the big sound, whistle. Asa Banton just dropped brand new music for DA Carnival, which is in February. So you want to check that out over there at Pier 22. What else is coming up? They have adult game night. This at the Children Museum. That's tonight, January 24th. And it's from 6 to 9 p.m. There's going to be wine. There's going to be adult games, Jenga, domino, all kind of thing. You could be able to enjoy the children museum. Don't go, if you know you're big, don't go on the children them toy now. You know what I mean? Don't go and mash up the children toy, but go lime, go mix, go mingle. It's all about supporting the children museum, and they all about, of course, give back and so forth. Now, this is the event I want to see. It's Corona Sunset Hours, cash at the Westin, January 24th, tonight from 5 to 9 p.m. Corona is doing some stuff. I always caution the distributors that they don't do enough. So we're seeing something here done by them. So if you want to, you could go check that out, see what's up. Now, tomorrow is opening day for the Little League, the Little Leaguers, in honor of Neville Champy Amy. Big up Champy. Big up Champy. Champy is a person, a gentleman. I'm going to say it in Caribbean terms. Champy is a man who always pushing the Little Leaguers, always pushing baseball, sports. If you need a helping hand, Champy there for you. Champy has supported me, of course, when I've been on the radio program and said, Champy, I need some tent. Champy come through with the tents. He and Willie and Champy got a crew, what a roll with him. Yeah. So he's a real community man, and we got to give people the flowers while they're around. So big up Champy. I'm going to pop the flyer one more time. What is it saying? The parade starts at 10 a.m. from Emancipation Garden to Griffith Ballpark by way of Main Street. Ceremonies start at 11 a.m. The game starts at 12 p.m. 9 to 12, Pirates versus the Archers. 6 to 8, VI Pride versus the Archers. 6 to 8, Braves versus the Little Pirates. And 9 to 12, the Rebels versus the VI Pride. So listen, man, just go and support the youth. Then we're going to go down. I really would like to stay in bed, but we're going to go down there with the cameras. We did it about a couple years ago, and we're going to take their pictures. They have a store on Main Street. A year we were doing it, Peter. And then Main Street, you know, it'll say they only
I always wanted to play the Little League, man.
You never played?
I wanted to.
And you so tired?
I know, I want, but if you can be playing basketball.
Yeah, you playing basketball?
Yeah, they told me on the basketball. Go play ball. You're too tired. So.
Yeah, man, you are up there. You have to be catching and doing everything. But, yeah, so you got that at the honoring Champy. What else is going on? Let's share it with you real fast. And then we're going to talk with Mr. Peter. All right, you get TGI Fridays over there at the Encore Restaurant, former Crush Nightclub. You know, they got the food, they got the drinks. And tonight is the B Squad featuring Kwan. And every Friday night, the mature, if you want to party, you could check out Zanzibar with the Sabotage Band. So listen, the flyers dropping. Carnival is in the area, baby. And the 2025 presentation of royalty contestants is going to be on February 2nd. That's next week. 3 p.m. at the Ruth E. Thomas Auditorium, Charlotte Amalie High School Auditorium. Some people ain't gonna catch it. And they're presenting the Petite Princess, Princess Junior, the Miss, and the Queen. Now, today they say scattered showers. We getting showers already, man.
I love it.
That's what we say liquid sunshine, because in the earlier part, yesterday, they said scattered showers, and it rained all day, basically. But Peter said Aldi.
But it was cool.
It was cool. No, the last thing we want to mark the calendars for February 8th is keeping our culture, country pride alive for Miss. What school you went, Peter? Hold on.
The best high school in the whole
CHS?
Come on, man. Don't speak blasphemy. It's a devil ray.
You a devil ray.
Devil ray for life. Ray
for life. And you know, Ray's doing big things, man.
Always.
Ray's doing big things. You have.
But it's our love for chicken hawks.
The teacher, Mr. Douglas, he's a teacher who is being honored with a presidential prestigious award. So big up to him.
He's a real alumni?
Nah, man. Yeah, man. You know where you that start? You know where you that start, then that I migrate? You don't know.
But we gonna claim him. The Rays gonna claim him.
The Rays gonna claim him. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Hang straight up. Throughout all of WeTV history, Best Island Pet history, talking 20 years.
Okay.
Rays have given these organizations the most support.
See what I'm saying?
I ain't talking about, of course, you know, my CHS family, they did it with me. They did it. They did it with the company. But the administration, the administration and CHS will be a headache for me to deal with.
Okay, don't get me in
trouble. And I could say, but Rays,
Yeah.
I'll call Miss Petty right
That's
now on
my
this
former. That's
phone.
my former principal.
And Miss
McCallum,
Petty,
Saro's mom. Miss Saro was
Miss
my principal.
Sarah,
Then Miss McCallum, and then Miss Petty. She was my VI history teacher.
Miss
She
Petty.
was my VI history teacher. Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah,
all
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So Principal Petty, big up to her. Once you positive with the students, it's always an open door. And Ken always welcome him, man. Miss Matthias.
That's all we do is
Man, you
raise love,
talking
man.
about
That's
Miss
all we
Petty.
do. That's what
Whatever Ken need, listen, you get my heart.
Pink
CHS
and
and I
maroon.
cut my eye after them.
I
And I
gonna
come from
I gonna
CHS.
plead the fifth, but I'm
They're
happy
too
inside.
difficult to
I'm
deal
happy
with.
inside.
And I'm saying it live. There's
Because
that
I is a bougie school. Like when I was growing up, they would say high school. Like they don't have another high school on the island. That is why I went high school. Like there's only one high school on the island. I mean, come on.
I gotta take that pause.
Yeah, we didn't take it Boston. I went high school. Oh, yeah, you got another high school. They only one on the island, people. Okay, and I watch gym better. Anyhow,
That's true. That's true. And going school when I was 17, 16
Yeah.
is something when that plaid skirt pull up, my son. Oh my gosh.
There you go. But
Ken had it.
But
Ken
people,
had it when that
people,
plaid
but see,
skirt
people
pull up,
always
right?
like what they don't have because we used to go down this. We felt that about CHS.
When you see that straight
Yeah,
blue?
yeah. So we used to go crash y'all lunchtime. Like, me and my guys used to go down there for lunchtime and hang out. And it was cool because our basketball team. I don't know if I think it's still good, but our basketball team back then was.
Yeah, man.
That
Ken
stuff.
team was good, but this year the Caribs out of sync, right?
Okay.
Lick down everybody, my son.
Okay.
Caribs mash up people in the.
But when we used to go over there to play, them boys used to jump out the building. The Crucian basketball players, they were more athletic. I used to the Kevin Shepard, they used to jump out the building, man.
Listen, man, you didn't want to see them at the MLK tournament.
Yeah.
And it was just a lot of fundamentals. We got to big them up and give it to their instructors, their coaches, and, all the coaches on a whole. Because you play ball. I wasn't. I went and, look at cheerleaders. But the thing is, there's so much time that teachers, coaches put into the students to mold them. But when you see the Carib team were playing, it was just straight fundamentals.
They always been good.
Shoot that much trees, It was a lot of passing the ball, lot of reverse. When you see that Carib man reverse, hey, look, Kenyan catch on, yet the man won't switch to play.
They were good from. We all went to Alabama for a tournament. Eudorican and I think Complex Central. I don't know if CHS was there. And I ain't gonna lie to you, we mopped them folks, man. Like they were laughing because back then we didn't have a gym, so we wasn't muscular. We were like a bunch of skinny guys with dreads, and we just mop up the place. That was in McIntosh, Alabama. But the Crucians, man, they were always athletic, very, very athletic.
Yeah,
guys.
man. Listen, they run that court.
Yeah.
And I want to say big ups to them. They ran that court. The Caribs gentlemen, the Caribs ladies, and the cheerleaders. We showed it.
So because remember, Aaliyah Boston. I'm assuming the basket with the high school girls are big now. It's like evolved.
I'm sorry.
The high school basketball team here with the girls teams is popularized now.
But they weren't popular during your day. Yeah, you about the same age?
Not really. You think? Not really.
I think it's more popular now.
No, yeah,
I think it's so.
That's good. That's good.
We ain't gonna say too much more. This is a morning program. Anyway, so listen, let me show you right here real fast. This is gonna be coming up on February 8th, day before my birthday. Keeping our Ray country pride alive for Miss Ivana Idora Ken 2025. You have 4 contestants. The venue is the Bertha C. Bushelty Middle School. I guess they're using BCB because they have the back room and the changing rooms. Tickets are $20, $25 at the door. So listen, one more time this weekend, Champy, the opening day of the Little Leagues. That's gonna be where we is. Where this thing is to Griffith Ballpark. So Griffith is back open. That's a good thing. They just did the renovations. Shout out to it. I'm gonna call his name. Big up Cal, because that was a Cal project right there. So big up Cal. Sunset Sundays at the West End, featuring DJ Cash. Then we told you about the royalty presentation. That's February 2nd, adult game night. And then you have the DA Carnival warm up. All right, so big things happening this weekend. Whatever you do, you be safe, drink responsibly, drive responsibly. You're drinking, don't drive. You know what I mean? Don't think you're a soldier and none of that there. It's better to be safe, and you don't want to go over the waterfront. You don't want to go over these cliffs. Man, our hills, the way all this thing's set up. Listen, don't do it. All right? So we are here. Today we have a special interview. We got journalist, director, videographer, entrepreneur.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a lot of titles that go with your name there, bro.
yeah, yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
And you're here in the studio. Welcome. So this is what I want to do. I'm going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back. You're here locked on to the Rise Up Morning Show. It's 7:29 in the morning. We expect that you're going to be getting ready for work. So listen, get ready. Just turn up the volume. Turn up the volume and let it play. Turn up the volume. Let it play while you get ready. Or if you're in the car, you can listen to the audio. Let it come through the system. But we definitely want you paying attention to the road when you're on the road. All right. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break and we're gonna be right back. Okay. So this is the Rise Up Morning Show. Here we go.
Moving my ideas to the board with the fastest fiber. Staying connected on the road with reliable 5G and on the go with nationwide coverage. No matter how I move, Via creates a symphony of connectivity, so I could bring down a cascade of sound. From the VI shores to the global stage, it's one VI to the wall with DJ Avalanche and Via.
The first step in securing your business or home is erecting a fence so the non-invited can keep out and the invited can be guided in. Now, a solid, beautiful exterior structure not only enhances the appearance, but also increases the value of your home or commercial property. Meet Bender and Associates. They are the experts in aluminum and stainless steel, including their manufacture and repair. Their work include gates, automatic and manual, stairs, security bars, wheelchair ramps. Hey, once you dream it and it involves steel, aluminum, or any metal structure, Bender and Associates can build or repair it. And for those who love the metals with beautiful designs, Bender and Associates can do that also. Time to get started by calling 340-244-0861. Oh yes, Bender and Associates service the entire Virgin Islands. Bender and Associates, beautifying your property while securing your peace of mind.
Man them, let's redefine getting ready. Today ain't just about stepping out, we stepping up. Starting with the essentials, the Levi Fisher bundle isn't just about looking good, it's about feeling good. Hydrating and grooming that bed perfectly. Next, let's not forget the skin. With Naked Luxuries Fairline Men, we taking premium care that leaves your skin irresistible. Why? Because self-care ain't just a luxury, it's a necessity. So before you head out, remember looking good is more than just clothes. It's about bringing out your natural charm. You think your woman and want to see you rough all the time? Don't forget, look good all the time. Take care of yourself.
Being from the Virgin Islands, how can we get a better relationship? Because we're a territory right now, we don't have the right to vote. So how can we work on that? Because we're in the Virgin Islands, we're just not a postcard. We are part of the U.S. family.
I always felt that way. I went on my first honeymoon to the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went back to the Virgin Islands, oh my gosh, maybe 7 or 8 times. It was my favorite vacation place.
There you go.
And that's where I learned how to snorkel.
There you go.
A little I'm not a skin diver, but I tried it 2 or 3 times. I didn't die. I used to love to ride around on the bikes. Went back later when I had like a speaking career for the insurance companies. I thought they had industrialized it a little
bit
much.
too much.
They go to the far part of the island. It's great. The area where Mike Bloomberg lives, where they have the great golf course?
Yeah, up in the hills, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the greatest golf courses in the world.
Yeah. But how can we get the American public to understand we are citizens?
Yeah, I would have to say that we ignore. Are you telling me we ignore?
Oh, yes.
A lot of Americans ignore Virgin Islands.
We're like a postcard. We're not human. We're just for vacation.
Much more than we do Puerto Rico.
Much more than we do Puerto Rico.
Because Puerto Rico at least has the voting part.
We can vote.
And it's always knocking on the door being a state.
Yeah. And our delegate to Congress didn't help because she wasn't in charge of the impeachment trials.
Well, maybe you need a new delegate now.
Yeah.
Well, I'll think about it, because I really do.
Please.
You give me a mission because
Please, that's the mission.
I have tremendous affection for the Virgin Islands. I told you this, I began telling you this story off the screen, but I'll tell it on the screen.
Nightcap is back.
All right, that's Nightcap right there with Peter Bailey. Peter Bailey is live and direct here in the studio, AllAhWeTV Content House. Once again, welcome. And what a way to come in and hear an introduction. Right there, the clip with former Mayor Giuliani.
Giuliani, Rudy.
Listen, man, I can't even imagine how that was setting it up and
Oh,
getting
man.
it. No, you know, this is a largely democratic
Yes,
community.
yes.
And you got Andy, but you interviewing the other side.
Well, Emmett, I'm gonna just be blunt. Why in the U.S. Virgin Islands are we loyal to any party? Like we haven't defined who we are yet. It's like we're Democrats, but think about it. We're socially conservative people. We're a very Christian conservative nation. So are we Democrats because we really understand the process, or are we Democrats because naturally we're predominantly black territory? So we just matriculate whatever African Americans are doing on the mainland, we just adopt. And I think that's dangerous because our nuance is different. I think the beauty of being a U.S. Virgin Islands is that because we're a territory and we're marginalized, there's a plus to that. We could pick whatever narrative in the American paradigm we choose. So let's just be blunt. I want to educate our people to understand politics is a game of winners and losers. Mm-hmm. And we got to be on the winning side now. You know, we just have to be on the winning side now. I mean, because we have to look out for our interests. Mm-hmm. You know, my narrative when the hurricanes hit, did any black leaders in America crusade for us? Did any Democratic Party in America crusade for us?
Not sure, man. I'll try and fix the house.
Let's just be honest.
You know what two houses?
It's like, I think for too long, the black vote has been taken for granted and pimped by both sides. Look, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm in the middle. I'm going to pick whatever. I'm going to do exactly what politicians do. They serve their agenda. The Virgin Islands needs to learn to serve our agenda and stop running on emotion.
All right. So we got you there. That's a little politics talk. And you got Mayor Giuliani. And you see the little punchline when he said, you know, we love our delegate. And Mayor Giuliani said, maybe it's time to choose a new delegate. But you know what? Let's talk Nightcap. Yes. Nightcap is back.
Yes, it's back.
How does it feel bringing this back? As we said in the introduction, talking about you, journalist, videographer, you are in the media industry. And when we talk about the media industry, you're on it on the big time, the big scene. So you brought back Nightcap, but as you talk about how it feels, then I want to talk about your road to Nightcap. First time 1.0, because now it's Nightcap 2.0.
Yes,
so
you're right.
How does it feel to bring back Nightcap? And for those who don't know, what is Nightcap?
Man, the roots of Nightcap, I used to write, so I started my career at the Village Voice in New York, then Newsweek magazine, then Time magazine. But even back then, I guess being a Virgin Islander, my slant, my views, my perspective was always different. You know, it didn't necessarily, my content was considered not safe, as in, when you say not safe in the mainstream media world, it means it's not conspiracy, but it's you're not following the status quo, right? So I went down to the Miami Herald, and to be closer to home, because my father had Alzheimer's at the time, and I just wanted to reconnect with my Caribbean roots, because when you had Time and Newsweek, man, you don't really meet Caribbean people. So I was at the Miami Herald, and Trick Daddy, the artist in Miami, he became a fan of my work, and his people reached out to me.
Trick, T-double-D. You know, a lot of us went to school in Miami, we know about slip and slide. We know about T-double-D, Trick Daddy, you know.
So I had made a name for myself at the Herald because same thing, I would start to write about people in a way you didn't see it before. I mean, that's kind of what my work is known for, humanizing people. You know, just putting a light on a perspective you didn't get before. So I wrote this book, and at that time, I was like, it's time for me to venture out on my own. And due to the connections and relationships I had in the industry, I created a docuseries, Nightcap, which is, the name Nightcap actually came from when I lived in New York. It was a bar crowd. So at night, we'll go to the bars, and when we say we're having a nightcap, you're getting free, you're getting loose, you're getting open.
Okay.
So I just wanted to bring a certain authentic, and it's, you know, it's you already know, but historically, Nightcap was one of the pioneers of what we call podcasting today. You know, back then it was new. It wasn't called a podcast. It was just, I wanted to bring a certain level of intellectual depth to the urban market through conversation. And that's how it started. Man, I used to, there was a B.B. Lewis, I got to give him his credit, the son of Inner Circle's Ian Lewis, you know, Bad Boys. So they have a studio in Miami called Circle House. It's very iconic studio. Like everybody who is everybody, from the Lenny Kravitz to the J-Lo's to the Rosses, Pitbulls, they all record there. So, you know, we all island people, man. So when I wrote the book for Trick, I said, Trick, man, I want to launch my own series in film form because I've always interviewed people in a written form as a writer. I said, man, I want to do it. And he said, yeah. So he calls Bibi. It's now a Bibi. He's like a connector in Miami because, you know, I mean, his father is bad, you know, with Bad Boys movie. That's their song that's played for the movie. So the first ever nightcap, I go over there. And man, I'm just there till 5 in the morning hoping I can interview somebody. And his uncle Roger, one of the singers in the group, it's the band. He said, man, what y'all do here? And he said, man, I'm trying to get an interview. She's like, well, blood clot, you still here. So I said, can I interview you? And that was my first nightcap. And it was aired on NBC. So I started saying, I want to do this in film form. And I got to credit Elora Mason. She was the publicist for Ross and Flowrider at the time. And I called her. She's actually, her people are from St. Croix. You know, her parents are Dominican, but it's all Crucian. So I got a lot of love for Crucian people. They've always, you know, they push us, man. So she set up, at the time, Asante Samuels, the Eagles player, was managing these rappers, but he was funding them. And the group name was called Guns, Goons United by the New School. And she was like, I'm going to call Asante. And if you want to interview them, and that was my first ever nightcap. And I remember how nightcap started. I would go to clubs, and basically I would literally go to a nightclub, and I see an artist performing. And I say, you want to get on NBC? They're like, sure. I didn't have the link to NBC. So I would go to somebody with a camera. You want to get your work? So I would finagle that and then take it to NBC. And the beauty of Nightcap, bro, it was the first digital property to bring in ad revenue to a digital media company. So NBC Universal at the time had NBCMiami.com, NBC Philadelphia, NBC Los Angeles. So Nightcap I literally went and struck a deal with the owners of the nightclubs on South Beach. I forgot the name of the group, but they had some Russian guys. They had all these clubs, Club Mansion, if you go to South Beach, Club Play. So basically, we did a deal where basically they were my sponsors. So I brought that deal to NBC. That was the first digital property that brought ad revenue to NBC Universal. So basically, when you go to the clubs, you will see the Nightcap in all the TV screens. And we had a boat. We used to go film on the boat as well. So Nightcap was always pretend you're having a conversation, but a camera is on you. I mean, everyone's doing it now per se, but back then, man,
it wasn't custom.
No, I mean, I used
because cameras, equipment was so expensive.
Bro, we used to get run out of hotels. Like, I had a whole web of people. I mean, I'll be honest. At the time, it was a girl I was dating. I mean, sometimes we're dating the same people. You know, some of the interviews, me and these guys, you know, there were people working at the hotel would tip me off because they just thought, well, this is different. And it was a journey. I think a lot of times we don't focus on the journey today. We just care about the destination. But Ross, everybody, I mean, we all saw each other grind. You know, so if you're in Miami, you know Nightcap. From that era, you just see me. Who's this guy out there with a camera 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning, outside of hotel lobbies? We got kicked out of hotels. I was telling you a story because we didn't, you know, there was no money at the time. So I remember you could pull up the interview I did with Raekwon, the first Raekwon Nightcap for Wu-Tang. Because what started to happen, and people just became fans of the show. Like first I'm running people down, but eventually, I'm coming to Miami, T.I., Mike Tyson, whatever. When they come, they would literally bypass the mainstream, the ABC, the local news channel, and want to film with Nightcap. So I'm headed to the Raekwon interview, bro. And I had a hoopty. It was just the car only a mother could have loved that car, man. You know, I remember I would park the car 3 blocks when I go to industry
You don't want
events.
them to see it.
Hell no, bro.
You don't want to,
Hell no.
And today I be telling them we pull up to interviews and we pull up to a live stream. The car gotta be washed. It gotta be clean.
Presentation.
Presentation.
Is
Oh my
everything.
God, we're saying the
My
same
father
thing.
had a saying, you don't have to be rich, but keep your clothes clean.
My grandmother used to say,
Iron your clothes.
My grandmother used
Poverty
to say,
has nothing to do with image and represent self-respect.
she used to ask you, Tatola, Your rubber's clean?
Yeah.
Don't think that mean your sneakers. You know, your rubber's clean.
Yeah.
Now what she says, clean your rubbers. Like if
Yeah.
you're going out of the house
Yeah.
and all she do, she look at your head to toe and she gonna look at your shoes.
Yeah.
And check to see if your shoes
You
are
could
clean.
watch you guys could pull up the interview. The first, I have two. The first interview I did with Raekwon, it's at a hotel on Collins on the water. And I'm driving to the interview on Collins and the car breaks down, bro. And I just leave that sucker on Collins on the road and I walk like 10 blocks to the interview.
So what part of Collins you say? And
This
what was the
was
interview?
this was North Beach. This was Raekwon for
Yeah,
Wu-Tang.
for Wu-Tang.
And he's a big fan of the show. So the car breaks down. It's like 10 blocks on Collins. You know, when you're on
Yeah,
Collins,
Collins
so
Avenue.
it's like the
And where were you
hotel was
going?
at like 50 something on Collins. So this sucker breaks down like at 30 something. And I'm walking to the interview, and that entire interview, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, how am I gonna? I'm thinking the car's gonna get. Cause you can't. It's not like sometimes you can just leave the car on the street. You know,
Thinking
so
it's gonna get towed.
that whole process, bro. I mean, stories upon stories.
But
I
you got
remember-
through with the interview.
Yeah, we flew out to LA. Ludacris, I mean, I could tell this story. Ludacris's people was like, yo, I'm gonna get him on the show. Boom, boom, boom. So come out to LA. We fly out to LA, bro. And me and my crew. And Shaka, I don't know, he's not answering the phone. This manager's not answering the phone. So at the time,
And that's when Ludacris is fresh.
oh, he's
just out.
he's exploded. At this point,
Yeah.
he already did Fast and Furious, so he's an icon at this
Oh,
point.
wow.
He's big,
Cool.
so I can't even be upset. But so I'm calling, and he finally, bro, this was the BMI Awards, and I got people out in LA. You know, LA is gang culture, so I know all kind of people. So one of my guys is working the back door at the BMI Awards. So he just lets us crash. So, bro, you know how you have the red carpet? So I go and just write nightcap on a marker on a big paper and put it. So I'm next to MTV, CNN, and this is my crew, man. We got like 2 cameras, little rinky-dink stuff. So the lady from MTV, I think it was CNN, and I can never forget it. She looks at me with this look like, what are you doing here? Like, what? And I looked at her, well, we in the same place. And I told her, I said, one day you're gonna, I'll give you a job one day. You know, and I'm not to toot my horn, but I think that department got shut down. And I'm telling that story because success, you have to have a level of, you have to deal with humiliation. You think it's humiliation. But we was just there, bro, and my guys literally come in there at the door. And after we did the red carpet, man, we just crashed. We just went in there, and there's like a gala. Kendrick Lamar, he was getting an award. Dr. Dre's there, and we're going from table to table trying to find Ludacris' manager. And we go. I remember he's there chilling, and I'm like, dude. So he's looking at me like, who the hell let you people in here? You know, but that's just some of my grind, man. It's so we literally that night, Luda was up in the Hollywood Hills doing like, he had a meeting, you know, some movie stuff. And we just slept in the car and we tracked down somebody, and Elle Varner. If you look on the nightcap, that's how Elle Varner, the singer, got on the show. Because Ludacris stood us up, basically. And we're just looking for somebody. And we see her, and my guy's like, yo, I'm going to go talk to her. And he was like, yo, you want to get a nightcap? She's like, what is nightcap? And I saw her manager at the time was this lady. She was Jamaican. So as she heard, are you from the VI? And we did it that night, man. So it's just so many of those stories where nightcaps, we just didn't stop. We just didn't stop. I mean, and it just grew, and it grew, and it became a phenomenon. You know, it became this phenomenon.
I love it. That's how it is.
It became a phenomenon.
You gotta have behind excellence and success. There's a story. Everyone has a story of
bro, I used to go
challenges,
home, bro,
hardship, and conflict.
I used to survive at one point on a can of Chef Boyardee like 2 days. I would chop it in half to eat it. There's no money.
Wow.
You know, I would go to LA, and I come back from LA, the lights are off. You know, and that's the thing about this journey, man. It's like that pain that I would literally, that same trip to LA, I come back because my buddy at the time, this investor, and he was a funny guy, Keith. He was like, man, I need to go out to LA to roughen up my son. He's a wealthy guy. He's like, I don't want my son becoming soft. Go out there and knock him up, have him sleep on the floor with some people and that. And I get back, bro. And he looks at me, he sees the face, because the journey of entrepreneurship is you have those moments, then in the back of your mind, you know you're suffering, right? So nightcap was bittersweet. I'm in this high reality, but then I gotta go home. And I go home, but there was no lights on. So imagine going out to LA, getting El Vaughn on the show, going viral for that show. Like I was going viral before viral was a thing. My first viral episode with Rick Ross in King of Diamonds. Yeah,
Wow.
when the whole
You interview him
money
in
trucks,
King of
yeah, the
Diamonds.
strip club. And that night, I'll
King of Diamonds
I'll never
was
tell the
a different
backstory.
scene. That was
I'll
a
never
different
tell
scene.
the backstory. But if you Google it, Rick Ross blows $1 million with Didi and in King of Diamonds. So that was our nightcap. It
And
exploded.
Nightcap
after
was there.
It exploded. I mean, it was it exploded. You know, so and I'll say this about Nightcap. What's very important to me in my legacy is that presenting our people in the most positive, enriching light. Right? That's one of the reasons Nightcap. It is the reason Nightcap started. When I was at the Herald, I didn't like the fact black people were always given coverage when we rob somebody, when we're killing, you know, always the negative portrayals. So Nightcap, I wanted to unearth the beauty of who we are. And I'm telling that story because in an ironic kind of way, my first viral episode is me and Ross and Didi in a strip club. You know, so it just also tells on what the imagery of what America likes to see of us.
Yeah.
But I told that story because Nightcap was birthed to show the beauty that my whole body of work, Emmett, is to flip the lens because life is about perception. Everything we understand about this world is your perception. So I have a saying, don't be a slave to perception. So it's very important for us to control and own our narrative, man. And so, yeah, it exploded. So I just said, I want to bring the show home now. So
I want to
brought the show
interject
home.
with you right there. When you said we got to own and control
Gotta
our
own and
narrative.
control our narrative.
My very good friend is John Black,
Okay.
Tortola, cinematographer, photographer extraordinaire.
And I want to correct you real quick. I can order take credit from cinematographers. I direct. I don't hold the camera. Like, I don't. My guys say, "Oh, Peter, you taking all the credit?" No, I know how to use the camera, but I'm more of a writer than a director. Yeah.
So my friend J Black's Barbecue, he's phenomenal. And when I started, before AllAhWeTV was Best Island Fed. And just like you running around with a camera, and I was running around with a mic when I was on the radio show.
I remember.
But this ain't about me. This is about you. But I went to Tortola. The first time we did, maybe the few time we did a coverage in Tortola, and I have a way. If I come into your territory, I'm gonna say salutation, good morning, good
Makes
night.
sense, right?
I hear.
Yeah.
I step into a king territory.
True.
So somehow Black and I may have done an event and I put up the pictures. I went to Treasure Isle Hotel because Treasure Isle used to be like my base. I did my first work with Treasure Isle and the Pens. Shout out to them. And I've read Penn. That's why we're so good friends today.
Yeah, I know Average.
Yeah, I'm a boy. I've read is my boy.
Yeah.
But anyway, speeding up the conversation. Black and I get online and I say, "Hey, King, and your territory, blessings." He calls me direct and he say, "Welcome." He says, "Youth, this is our story. This is our home.
Yeah.
We don't need nobody to come in and tell our story.
No.
We have to tell it for ourselves."
Have to.
This is about 20 years ago. John Black and I are best
having
of
that
friends.
conversation.
No, you would think Black at that time, they had Ticket Light Productions, and those guys were huge. I mean, they were showing everything in Tortola, right? And now it's John Black, his family, his sons. His son is incredible as a creator.
Nice.
But he just welcomed it with open arm and respect. But back to what you said,
Nice.
this is our story.
Yeah,
we can't wait for
No.
someone to come in
No.
and tell it for us.
And that's how
I
Unbreakable
remember when
happened.
we used to work TV2 Channel 12, and sometimes they would bring in, you bring in the big media people. And one year at TV2, the guys came from either NBC or CBS, and they were filming Juve, and that's when Friday were live. And I went, that's when I launched the first Juve morning DVD.
Wow.
And I was telling the cameraman and the director where to go, where not to go. Don't go down in the middle right now.
So you might as well tell the story.
I was filming.
Yeah.
I was doing my own thing. But out of respect, because we're media brothers, I just say, and a little tourism guide with them, we need them because they have an audience that they're going to share it too.
Of course.
But what I say is support us and give us the love. Now, I got to give compliments to tourism from Beverly Doty to now Joe Boshelty. They've been giving us support.
That's good.
But we need more.
No, I
We
mean,
need more.
I'll just say, and Joe could hear what I'm saying.
We need more.
Me
And
him
I gotta
have
give
these
them credit because they really been supporting. You get the Winston Media. We have like.
But I'm gonna say this, and he could receive this because I've told him this. Imagine you take 10 creators, you give each of them $10,000 for 6 months and let them just create content. Why are we always outsourcing to someone in the States? Why do we do that?
Yeah.
There's influences here, but that's just a little idea, tourism.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these influences.
More than 10 grand. But
They don't need more, but my point is, there's a lot. But there's a lot of influence here, man. There's a lot of influences here in this territory.
Yeah. They give support, they need to give more.
Yeah.
They need to give more.
But
we do a lot of work with them. What I'm going to do is, talking about tourism, I got tourism out here lined up to play.
But it's all love, Joe.
We're going to take a commercial break. We're going to be coming right back. It's the Rise Up Morning Show, 7:54 in the morning. We're talking with Peter Bailey. When we come back, we're going to let you know what events is taking place. We're going to go through a little bit of news and things that's making headlines. And earlier, we aired the swearing ceremony for Mario Brooks, Commissioner of Police, and Julio Ryman, now the Director of OMB. In it, the governor made a speech, but in the clip that we have from WAPA, piggybacking off of what you said, the governor been preaching that way. He says, listen, don't look for nobody to come and clean up your mess. This is our home. We have to take ownership and we have to clean our own, or protect our own, and don't buy attack our own. So we're going to run the tourism commercial probably twice, and we're going to be right back. We're here talking with journalist, director, Peter Bailey, man. All right, y'all stay right there. Don't go nowhere, please.
Whether we are on the road or in a fence, we sure to mash it up. Cause we bring the energy, that's who we mean. We party till we jump. Hey, enter Larry. Yeah, man, go on. You ready for this one? I'm ready. Okay, let's go. I see people, plenty people. I see people, feel people. Whether we are on the road or in a fence, we sure to mash it up. Cause we bring the energy, that's who we mean. We party till we jump. Hey, enter Larry. Yeah, man, go on. You ready for this one? I'm ready. Okay, let's go. I see people, plenty people. I see people, feel people.
All right, we are here. It's the Rise Up Morning Show. It's 7:57 right here on your TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. It's the weekend. And listen, you got a Little League grand opening on Saturday from Emancipation Garden to Griffith Ballpark. Parade starts at 10 o'clock. 12 o'clock is the first game. You want to go out, check it out, support the youths, man, support them. Go get some fried chicken, get some Johnny cake, go on a line. I think it's a perfect place, perfect setting for a date. Listen, we're going to speed in here a little bit of news. We're going to cut it down a bit. We're going to speak some more with Peter. But promise you to show you the ribbon cutting from the Wapa Wazilla generators. Why I want to share this here is because these generators are online. And much of us, okay, let's rewind that back. You could get a headline. Some people take a headline and they talk like they know the whole book. Or you read the title of the book and you think you know the whole thing. A purpose of us here on the Rise Up Morning Show, AllAhWeTV, is we are impartial. We just want to show both sides. And a lot of the information that's coming out, we are taking 2 hours worth of content, 3 hours worth of a live stream, cutting it down into 10 minutes, 5 minutes so we could digest it properly, or at least we could have that understanding. Because even myself, things going over above my head because he ain't speaking to me. or the information is just wild, So this ribbon cutting with WAPA and these generators being on is not the full solution, but we're in journey to that solution. It's a part of the process. And correcting WAPA, we had to go through, and we're still going through some hard times, some crucial pains. But we got to think about the part of the goal at the end of it. And yes, a lot of people suffered. A lot of businesses closed, paying them hefty bills. A lot of us paying some bills. That bill ain't easy. But we are not the only people in this struggle. My friend from Guyana, I watched news from around the Caribbean. They bring in a floating power ship. Imagine a barge.
Wow.
That's just a power barge, right? That is supposed to support their power plant.
Yeah. Wow.
The floating barge, the power plant, failed. They had to bring in another one.
Wow.
So a lot of us are going through it. So this is why airing this thing here, and the governor, and I want to big up Shavante Marsh. She was very instrumental. One of our own VI massive, Jason Marsh daughter, Charmaine Myers daughter. She was one of the engineers making sure this project came online, the bigger up in it.
That's
so
great.
We're sharing just the information as to what these generators are going to do and what to expect. That's the important part about it. So let's air that right now and stay tuned, all right?
Every one of us, never ever to forget that all of us live in this house we call the United States Virgin Islands. None of us to say our house stink, or our house dirty, or our house worthless, or our house corrupt, right? So let's not do it to our house. Everybody have problems everywhere you go. And if you see a problem in your house, it's your responsibility to fix it. So expose corruption, pick up the garbage, and work together for the greatness of this territory. Congratulations and have a fantastic day.
I want to acknowledge Shavante Marsh Boltis. She is all the way in the back hiding. She recently left the Water and Power Authority. I'm still trying to forgive her for that. She left at the end of the year. But before she left, she made sure to bring this project to significant completion, to bring this project home. She worked up until the very last hour, making sure that we could be here today saying that this project is complete. So my hat's off to Shavante for bringing this one home. This Wärtsilä Phase 2 project is a significant evolution in power generation here in the United States Virgin Islands. 4 9-megawatt fuel efficient reciprocating engines, the first utility scale battery energy storage in the US Virgin Islands, a full embrace of smaller, more nimble generating units, fully dual fuel capable. On any given day, we can be 100% LPG or 100% diesel, and we can switch that on a dime. 57 megawatts of new Wärtsilä fuel-efficient generation, another 18 megawatt hours of battery energy storage. It is truly an evolution in power generation here in the US Virgin Islands. We are also seeing the benefit of fuel savings. Our fuel expenditures are coming down. We're seeing the benefit of reliability. It's not your imagination. It's been less outages. When we do have outages, they have shorter duration, because with these new generators that we've put online, we can now put some of the legacy conventional generators on standby. And so our ability to know when something does have a hiccup, be able to switch to something that's in ready mode, waiting to go, has improved tremendously. It is quite a change. And most importantly, for the the people of the Virgin Islands, that's not all. So FEMA made their announcement confirming the obligation of over $200 million additional dollars for additional generation capacity right here in the Randolph-Harley plant. Those will replace the old Units 14 and Unit 15 that has been hanging in there with us for quite some time. Finally, there's some relief on the way for Unit 15 and 14.
Hello, everyone. I surely have a different perspective on WAPA and Wasilla and everything else over here. I want, first of all, to thank all the dignitaries here. I also want to thank my wonderful staff who helped put this deal together and get this going. I'm just so proud. When I got here in April last year, I was thrown into this issue, and they were telling me about WAPA. I said, WAPA? I said, is that somebody's grandfather's name? You know, like Papa, WAPA? I said, who is WAPA? And then they were talking about Wasilla. I couldn't even spell it. I couldn't even say it. And then VTOL, I said that wrong. And everything was just not going my way. And so when they started talking about feeders and this number and that number, I didn't know what was going on, but I learned fast, especially when your power goes off. I didn't know how to pay my WAPA bill, and I called the owner and said, how come the generator's not working? He said, no, the generator's working. They turned your power off because I didn't know how to pay it. So now I know. I've learned my lesson to be in the dark and being hot. But this has been a team environment. This has been a team effort. We worked tirelessly to get to this point. We're going back and forth. Gene, Daryl. We all talk. Kevin, every one of us. But if you knew what was going on behind the scenes to get us to this point, you'd be thoroughly impressed about this team effort. And I'm just so proud to be a part of this. We're always going to be partners, especially with my colleague ODR and all the other colleagues that we have here. I'm just so grateful and so thankful.
We couldn't get here today. It wasn't easy. Last year, this time, Wasilla wasn't on the contract. They walked out. We weren't paying them. They didn't have enough money. The year before, December, we were working on trying to get some money for gas. The year before that, December, the legislature were working on $6 million to give WAPA, lend WAPA, Carl, lend, we want it back, lend WAPA for gas again. Every December, it's been something. But we got here today because of leadership and working together as one team. Leadership by my good friend Novell Francis as president of the legislature. It's not popular. It's not popular. The legislature before was like, no, take it out of the governor's hand. You know, don't let the board, don't take control of the board. Less influenced by government house. And this legislature, when things hit the fan, everybody like, Governor, please take it over. Declare a state of emergency. Things are crazy. Get it going. But when we did that, the board wasn't happy with it, right? I like to remind people, the board wasn't happy either. The board was like, oh, why are you messing with us thing? And I said, I am not here to be the dictator in what happens. I am here to be part of the team. And as a part of the team and coach, my job is to make all these pieces work together. So let's sit down and figure out how we're going to fix this WAPA thing. We got Key Walker, Nathan involved. Key's an attorney. She knows more about this plant than most people. We involved Squire Pattenbaugh's, Winston and Strand. Odari, I just see him back there. You know, a lot of people get yellow yaba and thing on crossword for me in this WAPA trip. A lot. Odari, we there. Great young man back to Odari. You know, working when he was on the housing finance team. You know, Kyle was the chair of the board at the time. Anthony was on the board back then too. You know, we changed the entire leadership structure of WAPA. Everybody, CEO, CFO, CDONGO, everybody. Everybody went. We lost talent, right? But we bring people back. Look, when you look at, you see Hugo over there. You know, part of the team too, working and negotiating with people, you know, to get it done. I don't even know Boogie's real name. I could never remember it. But Boogie, what? Clinton, that's his name, Hendrington. These hardworking people at WAPA, people left along the way, people got tired, they got frustrated, but we kept heading into the wind with resolve that we were gonna fix it. Eugene Jones is like, we had deadline after deadline after deadline and stuff. This dude pulled through, and it just, I don't know where he greased or whatever, but things just started to happen. I gave up my chief of staff. People like, oh, you want to make a chief of staff head of WAPA? No, I don't. I want him to stay. We had a great team at Government House. We were getting things done. I had great sacrifice to go to WAPA on the much stuff. Somebody came to me and they said, oh, I met with the chief of staff. He actually knows what he's doing. When we making decisions on our team, we don't make those decisions lightly. We put a lot of thought into them. It's like Odd Lang saying, we have to, all acquaintance be forgot. We forgive people for transgressions. They may have come against the administration. They may have done things to you personally in the past. Leave that stuff at the door and let's get it done. I am so proud of what, imagine people being proud and WAPA in the same sentence. When was that happened? But it's a lesson to us all, and as I reflect today, what Silla, it was good. We won this battle. We got it done. And I want to say to our vendors, please express to your team when you go back, Mr. DeHaven, that we, on behalf of the governor, are very grateful to the vendors that deal with us and stick with us through the end. I know it's not easy. Everybody has a boss. Everybody wants to get their bills paid. Everybody has a board they have to report to. And we worked it out and we worked through and we got it together. In for a penny, in for a pound. But I want to remind every one of us, never ever to forget that all of us live in this house we call the United States Virgin Islands. None of us to say our house stink, or our house dirty, or our house worthless, or our house corrupt, right? So let's not do it to our house. Everybody have problems everywhere you go. And if you see a problem in your house, it's your responsibility to fix it. So expose corruption, pick up the garbage, and work together for the greatness of this territory. Congratulations and have a fantastic day. Love you.
All right, that's Governor Albert Bryan Jr., the team at WAPA. That was last week, Friday, and that was the ribbon cutting for the Wazilla generators. Why we aired it? Peter and I were here having a real conversation. Why we aired it is to inform, provide the information so you, the public, you will come to your own conclusions or opinions. But we just can't take a headline and form a whole conclusion off of it. Here at AllAhWeTV, our race ain't for the quick. Our race is for accuracy. Our race is to provide quality information and putting it out. I tell Peter, my pet peeve is, listen, I love all media. I watch all content. I read all kind of people thing here and abroad. My things stay on YouTube. I'll put it out there. The police commissioner from Martinez to now Brooks to the one before him who are come from the feds. I say, listen, I'll be watching YouTube and I want to see when a crime happen, I want to see the CCTV footage. And that's how you catch crime. You know what I mean? And they say, some of them we can pull out, some of them we can't, you know, because of, you know, they have other things. But my point is unbiased information. And that's what we are about here at AllAhWeTV. So yesterday take a week for us to come out. But remember, we talked about it last Friday, and then Thursday we did Rise Up. Now we're back here Friday. So this is just like our second airing. But you know, it's about being informed and being engaged. Like how the governor says, our house. I am siding with the governor and me on one side or the other. In fact, I welcome opposition. We welcome opposition here to air their point of view and to share and to educate. So we could then, you know, what's the point of having one side? We can't have one side.
Like we talked about earlier with me and Giuliani, you know, it's funny because I have supporters on both sides.
Yeah, you gotta have it.
I've lost, I think I wouldn't say I've lost friends, because if somebody is with you, that's not going to turn them against you. You know, and I was telling you earlier during the break, we were talking about the media climate here. And as you know, me and some partners founded Yellow Cedar, which is a locally based media company. And I remember Emmett, I was an investigative journalist at the highest level. And I walked away from it because there are so many nuances in getting the story, right? So years ago, I broke a story on this football player at the Miami Herald, and it was crazy in the city where he got charged with rape, but the issue was Florida has these very stringent statutory rape laws. The girl and him were in school together. They were both classmates, but she was like a year under the age. She was like 16 or something. And I remember when that story ran, it just took off, man, and I stepped away from it. I refused to keep continuing because I didn't report his name, but the paper just, it was a time when ad revenue was down and he was a hot story, and they ran with it, and the school basically covered up the case because he was playing the football, the state championship. So we're talking about Uncle Luke. Everybody was protesting basically this issue, and I got into contention because I was like, well, is education more important than football? But once again, like we discussed earlier, if you're in a space, you have to understand that nuance. And to make a long story short, the kid had a scholarship at every major institution. And because of that series, he kind of lost everything.
Wow.
The girl in question that was in the middle of it, I think she tried to commit suicide because she was always in the news, so we must have investigative journalism. But I will say this to wrap up what I'm saying. We have to be careful in using the internet has democratized influence, right? Everyone right now can be a journalist. And I tell people this all the time. Would you fly a plane, Emmett, if that pilot doesn't have a license? Would you? Would you get on a plane if that pilot isn't trained? Would you let a surgeon operate if he has no license and formal training? But journalism is a craft, and now everyone has access to tell stories. Yeah. But like we were speaking off the cuff, we're using it sadly to weaponize, right? Journalism is really journalism is food, bro. It's life, because that's the way we understand each other. I have a saying that we don't hate each other, we just don't know each other. Right? And as journalists, we're supposed to offer, like you said, unbiased information so people could arrive at their own conclusion of what's going on. To think all we're doing, bro, is making the world clearer so individuals can make adult decisions and how can we progress as a society. Sadly, we're seeing it, people are using their trauma. People are using the internet to weaponize, You have people who hate a certain issue and I feel in the territory, we're getting some of that. We're getting some folks who there's some people who just don't want peace. Like, they just want chaos. There's people that just don't want chaos because chaos and trauma sells. It pushes the algorithm. If I get up and you say, oh, Peter Bailey touched somebody, and it's going to go viral. Yeah. If we sit and talk about being positive and doing great things for the community, who cares? So I say that we're in a landscape where
I think people care. But of course, bad news sell more.
Yes,
good news.
yes.
The bacchanal.
We have to find a way. But we gotta find a way, Emmett. And maybe I get in trouble for saying this. We have to find a way in this territory, in this community, where those kids playing at the MLK tournament, there's just as much people going as in Juve. Yeah. There's just as much people caring about pushing
the science fair.
Yes,
for the science
as
fair
much
also.
As they go to FET.
Yeah.
We have to reach that fork in the road where that is
it's a journey process.
as drawing,
But and you were talking in the background, so that's why we're airing, and we're really cutting it down so we could provide the information and hear the speeches, because a lot of us are caught up in our lives.
True.
And respect too.
True. Everybody got their own issue going. Yes.
However, for us, we gotta be involved in our community to inflect change. The leaders work on our behalf.
Indeed.
So and so much taking place. We're gonna read you some fast news, man. Some things that are happening, and it's positive. But if you ain't seen it, you don't know.
But like you say, our leaders are a reflection of us. We're all one and the same.
Yeah.
So we all have a responsibility in this territory.
Unbiased, I'll state it right here. As we got in, we talked about it. And I said, take, for instance, the current case that's going on. Emmett Provost will not cover it. AllAhWeTV will cover it.
Gotcha.
Why? Because those are my friends that are on trial.
Gotcha.
So I'm not going to write. If I cannot write fairly, I don't write at all.
That's fair.
But we will contract We will
someone to tell
contract
a story.
someone, and I told them personally because I had to clear it with them because I didn't want my friend to be surprised and say, "Lord,
Yeah,
I
what you
care
do?
about
Yeah,
them. I
true.
love them. I'm praying for their support."
Mm.
Wrong. We are listen. You're
That's a tough
innocent
one, and it's
until
such a small
proven
place
you're
that.
innocent until proven
Yeah.
guilty. Of course, I'm praying for my friends. You know what I'm saying?
That's a tough. Yeah, that's a
I ain't
tough
the
pickle to
judge.
be in.
I
Yeah,
ain't the jury.
that's a tough
I'm
one to
not the
be in.
judge or the jury. But this platform will be unbiased. So we're going to be sharing information and we're going to be presenting both sides. And again, we welcome opposition. Monday's the State of the Territory address.
Yeah, yeah.
We're going to talk with the governor, chief of staff.
Looking forward to seeing
But
that. Yeah.
if there's a union leader who will say, hey, what he's saying accurate, please come. I didn't even switch the right camera. You see one man show going and I ain't switch the right camera, one Peter. But it's it's about being unbiased, and that's why we're airing that information. We don't have to defend, but what we're doing is clarifying and we're sharing. There's some information and some news that's going on that I want to go through real fast. Plaskett announced over $2 billion for VI wastewater system replacement. That's important. Why? Well, of course, one day he had some dirty water in the street, and we got passionate and we say the cuckoo water in the street.
That's happening over there in Christiansted. They need to handle
happening
that.
all over.
They need to handle
It happening all over. It happening all over. But you see, this is years of bad infrastructure, not only by us, investment to support us, and that's what all of this is addressed here. And
I'm gonna say something controversial, right? I think our political status has a lot to do with everything
that we get. That's correct.
I
Our speech should have said so. We got 2 grants totaling over $2 billion for U.S. Department of Homeland Security's Federal Emergency Management Agency to the VI Waste Management Authority. So the FEMA awarded a grant totaling $2,144,882,835.57 for St. Thomas and $81,917,395 for St. John. St. Croix award amount is forthcoming. And this has been to not just repair but replace wastewater facilities in order to restore the system back to their original pre-disaster condition. This award is for the prudent replacement standard, which is integral for improving our preparedness and resiliency against natural disasters. Okay? And there's an article we're going to share it on AllAhWeTV. It is so much that's happened, and there's been where in the Virgin Islands has we have been the matching funds has been decreased for us to make it easier. All of that is taking place. We're going to share this on AllAhWeTV, our Facebook page, so check it on out. But that's there, that's coming. Now we're going to continue on to share some bit of sad news. Again, a very good friend. We and the family announced the homegoing ceremony and for the passing of Butch Liston Ulrich Pickering. His first viewing is going to be on the 31st at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Turnbull's Funeral Home. The 31st is Friday. 6 p.m. at Turnbull's Funeral Home. The second viewing is going to be on the 1st. That's Saturday, February 1st at Episcopal Church, St. Andrew's Episcopal Church, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Service at 10 a.m. You can see him right there with former Senator Clifford Graham, Hemi Senator, when they were doing the massive pour in his heavy material shirt. That's him on his balcony. Burial is going to be at the Smith Bay Cemetery. Festival colors are welcome. You can contact the family about the big truck procession. All the heavy trucks are invited if you want to do a professional and a tribute procession to the the cemetery, the resting place. No zigzagging gonna be allowed. This is just about 2 weeks before his passing. We had a nice event there. That was actually Gleason's mom 97th birthday party. He was there, and all I could say is, listen, Massive and crew, none of us are in control of time. None of us in control of time. So enjoy your loved one today. And I say, if I cuss you out, I still love you. You know, I gonna make up with you, but I just had to tell you
And
what I had to tell you.
and that's something we
You
gotta
know,
understand.
I had to tell you what I had to tell you. So
Yeah.
I don't believe in going sleep vexed.
A
you know?
person, and that's the thing, a person is okay. You look at a person as 100%. Maybe there's a 10% that you don't you don't click with, but that doesn't mean you hate the whole person.
That's right.
We could disagree, but still love each other.
So love your family, love your loved ones, and just enjoy every day and maximize every day. UVI announces the memorial service of President Dr. Orville E. Ken. We're going to speed through some topics real fast, and then we're going to get back with Mr. Peter Bailey's 823, and we're going to be going. The University of the Virgin Islands will host a public memorial and celebration of life for President Dr. Orville E. Ken on Saturday, February 8th at 10 a.m. in the Eldridge Blake Sports and Fitness Center on the Orville E. Ken campus in St. Thomas, who passed away at the age of 86 on January 19. He was the university's third president from 1990 to 2002. He's remembered as a visionary leader who set UVI on a course to become a leader in economic development in the territory with the establishment of the Research and Technology Park, the RT Park in St. Croix. He led the university through recovery from Hurricane Hugo in 1989 and Maryland in 1995, while significantly improving and advancing both the physical and institutional infrastructure. Dr. Ken successfully undertook the planning and completion of major capital projects and transformed UVI into a modern institution. So if you have tributes, tributes can be emailed to kentributes@uvi.edu by January 31st for printing in the booklet. So that's going to be on the, when is it? February 8th. At 10 a.m., it's going to be the homegoing service for President Orville Ken. Very nice gentleman, him and his wife. I've been serving them from when I was a waiter, a boss boy first.
Wow.
At Tickles, which Tickles just closed down. That's back in 99. 99, 2000, 98, 99, 2000.
That's the journey, man.
And they always welcome me, always support me, never forgot me. So I just want to say love to them, love to their family, and of course, condolences. He's made his mark. And that's the thing, all of us, we're looking forward to make our mark. One more time, we're going to go through the events, then we'll get back with Peter, and then we're going to get ready to be homeward bound. Listen, this weekend, it's all about what the DA Carnival warm up. That's Anush 242, Miss and Asa Bantan Trilogy, Unstoppable Shacks, Triple K, and Malcolm Vex over Pair 22. Adult game night and wine tasting. This is at the VI Children Museum. That's tonight, 6 to 9 p.m. Presentation of royalty set the date, February 2nd, 3 p.m. Ruth E. Thomas Auditorium. We're going to meet the Petite Princess, the Princess Junior, the Miss and the Queen contestants. St. Thomas Carnival is in the area, baby. Adults, $10 entry. Children, 11 and under, $5 entry. All right, supported by Via, and Via is one of our proud sponsors here. Want to say thank you very much. You see that DJ Avalanche commercial playing. Sunset Sunday, Corona Sunset Hours. Hey, me Sunset Sunday is a totally different vibe. Where are you going with that? DJ Cash tonight, 5 to 9 p.m. at the Westin. All right, and then Saturday, you got an opening day for the Little League in honor of Neville Champy Amy. Big up Champy. And then February 8th, you got to keeping our Rays culture pride alive. Devil Rays. I always say big up to the Rays, man. Big up to the Rays. Let us see Peter put up your hand.
Devil Rays, man.
Them Rays, boy. Them Rays.
Rays for life.
I hope the chicken hat to come down and scoop up the Ray. But you know,
we got the whole ocean to ourselves,
you ever see a Ray take flight? In the water.
Yeah,
all seriousness.
It's amazing.
It is an amazing sight. We surrounded by water. We surrounded by the ocean.
It's funny because in the 2.0 film, there's a drone shot. It's a very powerful scene where there's a scene about the Fort Bragg, the revolution, the first slave insurrection in the West. So I attempt to relive how our people used to try to swim the Tortola for freedom. Mm-hmm. So in the drone shot, bro, there's a manta ray following me. It was not planned. When you look at the footage, there is a huge, and you gotta
tell us about the 2.0 film. We're gonna get to that right now. Right here we have TGIF at the Encore Lounge. That's happening tonight. And remember, every Friday night there is a Sabotage Band down there at Zanzibar St. Croix. We gotta get your events. Email AllAhWeTV@gmail.com. gmail.com. What we're going to do, we're going to not wrap up. We're going to continue our talks with Peter. We're running an ad or two. And me and Peter, we're going to talk. We got to talk about Nightcap right now, 2.0. We're going to talk about, he's talking about a new film. That way it sounds like?
Yeah, 2.0.
2.0, a new film is coming out. So let's hear about that. Right? Peter doing big things, man.
Finally coming out.
What you say, finally coming out?
Yeah, man. I was telling a friend, I don't think... So my audience, my Nightcap, is two different audiences.
Peter,
right?
we're going to talk about that. I'm going to run this clip right now. This is, we're talking about the Caribs and the Devil Rays when they had the dance-off. Cheerleading up. It wasn't a competition. It was
cool.
just vibes.
That was
we're gonna run a little
cool.
clip of it right here. AllAhWeTV, man, we're working, you know. So and then we're gonna talk with Peter. So don't go to place. It's the Rise Up Morning Show. That was the Devil Rays and the Caribs in Croy Central High School. Cool. Cheerleaders. They were having a friendly little battle. And what amazed me is I see the thing happening. You see the opening scene.
Yeah.
In the opening scene, and bring it back right here. You saw that. The girl did a split, right? And all of them bust into a split. I'm just saying, you want to amaze me every year? We have such talented people.
No, it's good to see our young people. Yes.
You know, when they go to the princess show, the queen shows, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if you're going to talent, you don't belong on the stage. But they're going to be out of 1 out of 4 or 2 out of 4. Have incredible talent.
When I started working with young people here, that's the first thing I noticed. We're naturally gifted and talented. Naturally. Yeah, man. Naturally.
So, Peter, listen, you're back with Nightcap. Yes, you talked to us about the history.
Yeah, man.
You relaunched it, and you had Mayor Giuliani on it. Yes. Who all can we expect to see on the show?
Oh, man, I have Brian McKinney, Super Bowl champion football player, coming up. Brian is a guy, a big supporter of mine. We have media mogul Ted Lucas, the owner and founder of Slip and Slide Records.
Yeah, man.
He doesn't do interviews, so out of respect for me, he finally tells a story. So he tells a story of Trick, Ross, Trina. He signed all of them. Plies, Trick.
Yeah, man.
You know, Slip and Slide is foundational when it comes into hip-hop. You know, Slip and Slide had its moment. Remember, every record label had its moment. Yes.
That was down some music.
So I have him coming up.
Everyone had, not to interrupt you, but New York had its song Pioneer. LA, the West Coast had its song. But
so
then you get to see down south, and every region starts to define their own sound. You get Ludacris coming out of the A and BMF and other guys.
I have a record out right now with JT Money, actually.
Yeah.
I opened his album. So
And
that's
low down, you had Slip and Slide
Yes.
record and a few
Yep,
others
yep,
down there in Miami. Trina,
Yep,
Trick Daddy.
all of them.
You know
all
what's
of them.
crazy
All of
is that Pitbull is a superstar
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
But I remember when
He
Pitbull
was
was
there.
doing free
He
concerts
was
in Miami.
doing hardcore hip hop,
When he was,
and he turned the lane. Yeah,
he used
was,
to be with Power 96.
Yep.
Like whenever you see Power
Yep.
96 on the road, you will see Pitbull.
Pit
But then he got
was-
with, I think it was Bad Boy. He got with
He
Bad
just
Boy.
he found his lane.
Yeah,
you know, he
man.
found his lane. But yeah, so that's foundational. So Nightcap is, and I have some. I can't say it, but I have a very heavy. There's a billionaire that's coming up. That's a big fan of my work. He's an interesting guy. People know who he is, so I can't say it, but he's coming up.
So what's your vision for it right now? We're saying Nightcap 2.0. You brought it
Yeah,
back.
well, Nightcap is so. I have a new studio in Miami, and I'm coming out with my own coffee line.
Okay.
So for years, brands have wanted me to endorse something. I never wanted to attach myself to alcohol. They always got black people selling rum. Always got black people selling alcohol. No disrespect to people who push, Hennessy and whatnot.
If they bring the rum, I'm going to sell it.
Yeah. No, but me personally,
I used to feel like Peter. I used to feel like Peter.
I'm not gonna lie. I probably pass on some big,
Peter.
I pass on some big checks.
If you bring it or you want to brand it, M&P with a nice wine right here on the table.
I forgot to actually say you give you the picture of the coffee, but yeah, it's my own new coffee line, man.
Awesome.
So it's Peter's Nightcap Coffee.
Oh, it blends. It goes with it. It goes with it. That's a nice one.
It's black. So I got educated. Some fans of mine, it owns a very large Don Pablo coffee. It's a very, it's a huge brand, and Rudy is actually signed to the same coffee line.
Who Rudy?
Rudy Giuliani.
Okay,
so
awesome.
We're all in the same camp. But the vision for Nightcap, man, is to come back and just pick off. I won't say where I left off, but I think my audience wants to see me now beyond, a certain sphere. So that's why we had the Giulianis. So this new iteration of Nightcap is going to be very, I don't want to say controversial figures, but figures who are impacting world history. The players who, I think, a lot of times we look at entertainers, but I want our people to understand
it's a lot more than entertainment.
There's levels to this.
A lot more than entertainment.
There's somebody pulling those strings. Okay. So I'm going to be sitting with the architects of society. The guys who, when they wake up in the morning, they push a button and decide the stocks.
Yeah.
Decide what your child is going to learn in the classroom. So I'm happy. Bro, I'm happy to be back because Emmett, it's like a thorn every week. Are you gonna bring Nightcap back? But I've been inundated with our people's story. So I'm finally, Paradise Discovered is a series. So Unbreakable 2.0 is the second movie from Unbreakable Part 1, Paradise Discovered. And we launched a film academy with UVI to basically, I've always wanted to create a bridge, man. When I was growing up, Emmett, when I went to Durkin, I felt I'm this talented kid, but I didn't have a connection to my dreams. And I think there's a lot of us.
So you were playing ball.
Yeah, I was playing ball, but I was not an athlete. Yeah, I was the creative kid in the jungle, man.
So you were on the team because you were tall.
Yeah, I was athletic, but black kid tall, go play basketball. But I was more of a creative, but it wasn't cool, bro. It wasn't, you use a batty man, you gave you this because you're right. It was nothing against people of that persuasion, but you understand what I'm saying. It was if you were a black male to this day, and you're 6'8", you're an artist, you right? Are you crazy?
I just want to declare right there, Peter, that's just a reference. What was used at that time.
Yes,
because
that was
you were
not a
writing
derogatory
and stuff.
statement.
We weren't knocking nobody. Everything like that is one love, everybody.
Yes, but that's
just a disclaimer.
Exactly. So to be a writer, it was, and like I said, I love everybody. But my point is, it wasn't considered cool to be a creative guy.
So your writing took freedom when you moved abroad?
Yes. So when I went away,
you were in college for it?
Yes, I went to the University of Delaware.
Okay.
And I had a class, and my professor, actually a very legendary writer, and he asked me to write an essay, and it was about a cousin it was about family in New York that was, doing some seedy things. And he said, man, you have a gift. I mean, from the time I was in high school, people used to read my writing. I used to write everywhere. He's like, bro, you have something. And he said, you need to take this serious. And at the time, I mean, I'm like, how much it pays? You coming, you coming for the VI, you want to have a good job and make money.
Yes.
And but it worked out.
Mommy, I'm doing good.
It worked. It worked out. But yeah, it's. I'm a writer, man. So, but basketball was natural hell if you can play ball. And
Yeah,
so
you
when I
told
went
me.
to college, I got to be free.
Yeah.
I got to write. I got to get into theater. I was a theater minor,
Okay.
philosophy minor, with a major in English and journalism.
So now you said you had Unbreakable 1 and now
Yes.
Unbreakable 2.0.
Yes, it's
You
coming out.
teased us, say that you have the there's a trailer or a clip with the journey heading to Tortola. So Unbreakable 2.0, what is it all about?
So Unbreakable 1, that film, and it did very well because it captured our resilience. That film was literally filmed and produced while everybody's house was still destroyed. So we were literally going through the motions and emotions of Unbreakable. And I'm proud to say, when Unbreakable premiered on Apple TV, it was one of the top 200 documentaries in the U.S. So we like to say Virgin Islands don't support each other. That is not true. That is a misnomer. We support each other if it makes sense. And I tell a lot of my peers, man, Peter, hey, come on, nobody supporting me. Well, guess what? No one is supposed to. Like I tell artists this all the time. No one is to support your art until it affects their lives beyond your ego. Right? I got a song. Who cares? That's for your own ego. But how is your art and this thing you do affecting someone beyond yourself? That's when the universe starts to pay you, right? That's when the universe starts to pay you.
Boom.
So the first film, yes, was about our resilience, man. And so the second film, I had to advance the ball. And advancing the ball says, the first film shows the world how resilient we are. And I'm proud to say, bro, we're the only people in modern American history to survive 2 Category 5 storms in less than 2 weeks. We're historical figures. And I wanted to do that film to make sure our people, we do a lot of, like we were talking earlier, a lot of criticizing, I say this, man, I think sometimes the Virgin Islands, we're addicted to cynicism, you know, and we don't cherish our beauty. So I wanted to capture this moment in our history where we did something no one in the world ever did. So when we start criticizing each other, we could look back and say, no, that's who we are. So the second film speaks about, okay, how did we end up in this? How did we end up with this storm and having to be so dependent on everyone for everything? We had no gas, we had no food. So the second film is about innovation. The second film, that's what we call it 2.0. It says, okay, how are we going to create a self-sustainable society moving forward? So basically, we're looking at food insecurity. So in the film, we feature the aquaponics farm in St. Croix. You know, we feature the RT park. How are we going to be a progressive society for the new age? But, Emmett, how do we still maintain who we are? Right? So we have this new world of people moving down here. Everybody's looking at St. John was gentrified. The locals getting forced out. But guess what? That's progress. So my thing is, change is inevitable. But the question is, are we ready for the change and are we leading? When people come to your society, if it's a society that's run well and progressive, they're going to fall in line.
Very true.
If
Just like a culture.
If it's disarray, they're going to come and try to take over. That's the nature of a capitalist society. So 2.0, it looks back at our past. How did we become so resilient? So I'm proud to say this is the first film where the Fort Berg Revolution is featured. So, you know, in my mind, I like to push the artistry. So much respect to Kurt Marsh and his family.
Yeah, man.
They allowed us to film on the property, and we kind of reenact what happened.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we reenacted. And part of the reenactment was in my research, and bro, I'm so upset I didn't know any of this stuff. This stuff needs to be taught in schools. I think our kids would have more pride for themselves if they knew what happened there. So our people, bro, used to try to swim to Tortola to freedom because at that time, Tortola was a no man's land. But if you know anything about the waterway between the waters between St. BVI and here, treacherous.
Really?
Treacherous.
I mean, it looks close.
But it's treacherous. It's very deep. It's a lot of sharks. It's treacherous, bro. Wow. So I'm like, we gonna do this. So there was supposed to be a boat with me. And my partner was like, nah, Peter, they ain't gonna say Peter barely drunk with me on my watch. So we go there and nobody shows up but me and the camera crew. So he like, Pete, let's go. I'm like, no, we gonna do this. So bro, I try to swim it and I nearly drowned in the attempt. Yeah, I did nearly drown in the attempt. And I was out there.
And that was current?
Yeah, it was current. Bro, I'm swimming and I'm not moving.
You're fighting against
I'm not
yourself.
moving. So thank God I work out, I keep in the gym because
the boat behind you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the cool thing was talking about the manta rays. when I looked at the drone footage, bro, there's a manta ray called a devil ray. It's following me, bro. It's amazing. This wasn't scripted. This was just you
That
literally
mean you
see.
can't train the devil ray.
No. So
It's just ironic that you
Exactly.
happen to be a devil ray
and I'm
you
filming
out
this
in the
movie.
ocean,
Yes.
and here comes your devil
Yeah,
ray
follow me.
mascot.
You can see it.
You know what happened around here? Every day the chicken hawks that come around and fly around
Oh, that's
here.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
You know why? Because
What?
I'm a chicken hawk.
They're coming for the crew. But yeah, man, so 2.0.
That day we gotta make a clip out of that one day.
that's
That's
dope.
because I'm a chicken hawk.
2.0 is coming up. So right now we're speaking with distributors. The
That's
first film was out in mainstream distribution. That was the first film produced.
So you got
locally.
Nightcap going on. You
Got
got
the movie
2.0
going on.
Unbreakable
Yes,
2.0.
yes, yes.
And it's so the done finished production. Is it
yeah.
editing or
yeah,
is
no,
it
we're done. We're done.
you done?
So the beauty of it with my academy, the students are in charge of creating the digital promotional campaign for the film.
Okay.
Because I wanted them to get a real. So they're gonna be meeting with my distributors in LA, all of that.
And the academy is here?
Yeah.
the
I have 5
at the
apprentices.
university?
Yes, I have
Okay.
5 apprentices.
Amazing.
And
So
I love it.
let's-
I love it.
But you're here right now. And what
Yes,
brought you
I'm
home
back
now?
home. My mother had a stroke. I've been coming
Sad to
back,
hear.
Emmett, a lot because like a lot of Virgin Islands, we want to be home. We want to
Mm-hmm.
see how we can be home, but we got to make money.
Yeah.
So we're away, but we launched a new media company and things are well. So I'm home now. I spend a week in Miami at the studio every month filming the
Okay.
new Nightcap show. So there's a lot of moving parts.
What you have the academy going, you're involved with the university. We
Mhm.
got to talk more about that because
Yeah.
I want some discussions with them and their media program.
It needs
see
further.
what we
It needs
can
push.
do.
It needs a push.
What do you see, real quick here, because we're getting ready to wrap up Rise Up.
Yes.
What do you see? I'm going to say probably the top 2 or 3 things.
Mhm.
I don't want to say opportunities to improvement, are just opportunities here in the Virgin Islands. Us to capitalize on, us to change, us to improve. What do you see?
In the Virgin Islands, bro, we have to stop operating. We are not a clenched fist united by purpose. We're like disconnected fingers with growing pains. We need to unify. We need to understand, Emmett, me helping you is not taken away from me. That's a concept. I don't know if it's the Americanization of our people. We've become very competitive with each other. But I will say this. In America, you could get away with being so cutthroat and competitive. It's a large pool. Here, it's small. So we need more unity and celebration of each other. It begins with that. It really begins with, even with, when I look at what's happening with the case, with the corruption, it's too much celebration of that. It's too much. Let's click share when Emmett has a new show out. Let's click share. You know what I'm saying? The gossip. The gossip is something, and I'm not judging. I've never lived as an adult in the Virgin Islands. So I'm not going to come in and say, who he think he talking, like he know everything. But I'm just observing. I think we could do a better job of loving each other, man. It's just, to me, and that's why I like what you do, bigging up, celebrating each other, because I think we forget, Emmett, when me and you were kids, we were spared. We didn't get to see our adults fighting and cursing on Facebook. We didn't get to see that. We although the world was still going in a hell basket, our innocence was preserved. The youth, their innocence. I want to see us take the youth of this territory more serious. Like I go to the games, it's never packed. I went to the high school football game, it's never packed. But Juve is packed. So it's like, what message do we send the children? So for me, I really want to see more emphasis placed on the children, because the market, the beautiful thing about these kids, the internet, social media now, I remember years ago, to be an artist, you have to leave. You don't really have to leave the VI anymore. You could build an audience in your bedroom on YouTube. But it's a matter of the concept of celebrating each other more, right? Even after the hurricanes, people are complaining, oh, we ain't got no coverage. I looked at Facebook, there were Virgin Islanders talking about some show they're going to in Atlanta while we were in a hurricane. The Puerto Ricans got a lot of support because you couldn't, any Puerto Rican, they talking about Puerto Rico. There was a nationalist fervor they have that I'm seeing it more now, but I would like to see us unify more, man.
Okay.
I would like to see that. And I think nothing we do after that is, until we get that right, nothing else is going to matter. You know, and I think that has a lot to do with our political status, where we're living in a space where we feel we don't own it. And a buddy of mine was like, well, Peter, you don't understand. People have a right to come here. We could go there. We could go to Florida and buy a house, but we can't vote. So we are not the same. We just had an interview with Adrian Todman, and I say I'm a Virgin Island first, American second. Because I'm a repeat, Emmett. When people say, well, Peter, when you're talking about sovereignty and VI for the VI, but as a Virgin Island, I could go to Florida and buy a house, but the Floridian, they could vote for their president. We cannot vote. So we are not the same. So it's about us. I think the Virgin Islands needs to understand who we are. Stop trying to find where we fit. And let's the beauty about being a Virgin Islander, the gift and the curse of being a territory is this. Yeah, we're occupied territory. Let's call this what it is. I mean, Gaza is worse, but we are occupied territory. So, but because of that, Emmett, all of us, we get to create what the Virgin Islands is going to become. This is an experiment, bro. This is an experiment. Every Virgin Islander has the power within their hands to create what we want this to be. We don't have to piggyback on someone's narrative. When people got mad, Peter, why are you sitting with Giuliani? Why not? Why not? You know, I mean, I don't see the Congressional Black Caucus down here. I didn't see Kamala Harris down here. You know, I'm just saying. So let's stop being loyal. Let's be loyal to us. So yes, I'm in bed with Giuliani. Yes, I'm in talks with the Trump administration. Yes, I am. Am I a fan of any I want people to understand politics. When these guys fight on TV, they go back and hang out at the bar. The Democrat and the Republican. Didn't you see Obama laughing with Trump at Jimmy Carter's funeral? Let's get it together, people. Let's not be pawns in this thing called the American chess game, right? Let's be the kings, you know, and let's understand. You look at every industry, Emmett. Every time a Virgin Islander enters an industry, they shift it. Look at Adrian Todman. Look at Rock City. Look at Tim Duncan. And let's not only talk about the entertainers. Biden's head of President Biden's COVID task force was a Centomian. The first slave revolt on American soil was orchestrated in Charleston, South Carolina, by Denmark Vesey, a Centomian. Edward Blyden, the father of African Pan-Africanism, Centomian. Garvey was a student of Blyden. You know, so our history is rich. It's time we own it and claim it and define our story on our terms, man. And that's why I did Unbreakable. I refuse to have somebody from CNN or somebody come down here and all of a sudden date a savior. All of a sudden, our people did not lift each other on our backs. We are our own heroes. You know, and I want us to understand the beauty of our narrative and be excited. You know, people say, Peter, the players got all these problems. Emmett, what is life void of struggle? I get excited when I got to figure out something to solve. I get excited when when I wake up, I got a challenge to look forward to. That excites me. You know, so the struggle of being a Virgin Islander, figuring out the WAPA, figuring out how we're going to be sustainable, figuring out our status. Let's be excited about that. Let's be excited and let the world be inspired. Even in the Giuliani interview, if you see it, I tell Giuliani, you guys have a lot to learn from us. And he agreed. Because of being marginalized, because of being geographically separated, we didn't take on a lot of that baggage too. We didn't take on a lot of their baggage. You know, so let's look inwards instead of outward.
Peter, good talk.
Indeed.
Good talk. Good vibes.
I get passionate
yeah,
about
man, and that's
stuff.
good. That's good.
Indeed.
So you're gonna be here, like you say, you're going back and forth.
Yeah, man, but I'm home now, man.
So we're gonna be seeing a lot of each other.
Yes.
Where can the viewers experience Nightcap?
Nightcapmedia.com. Nightcap, NITECAP media.com.
So it's all online.
Yes, but it's gonna start airing actually this week on CBS, on a couple of the local channels.
Okay.
Okay. You know, it's funny because my TV guy, that Peter, TV still exists. You know, I'm of the new wave where all the kids are streaming. But yes, my mother even said, she said, son, I still watch TV. Okay?
Sounds good. yeah. They remind us. So, you know, That's good. Peter, listen, man, massiveness,
Yes.
big things are going.
And congrats to you, man. Congrats to the platform. I got to see it mature. I got to see it evolve. And I love that, you know, because life is a story, bro.
Yeah.
Life is a story. What you're doing is a story. And somebody's looking at you, admiring what you're doing. And that's what we do. It's a cycle of life. It's like a journey. And when you're a trailblazer, you clear a path, but you leave the crumbs. You know, we got to learn how to do that. Leave the door cracked for those coming behind us. Don't slam the door. Don't shut the door. So
I love it. I usually see the first one through, and I'm not the first one. It's funny. But, you know, we make it easier for the next one that's coming,
Yes.
for the road that they're going to walk upon.
Yep.
So who clear the path? The next one come, they pave the road. The next one come, they put on the light.
Yep.
And, you know, it's that. But like you said, we can't be afraid to work together, walk on that path. All of us don't need to cut a road.
No, if you can only celebrate someone if you're on the stage, you have a problem. And I'm going to say that again. If you can only applaud if you're on the stage, you're not going to get too far in life. The key to success, man, give as many people what they want, and you'll get yours. Just keep give in this life more than you take, and it'll work out. I'm living proof. You give more. Bro, when I started, man, there are movies you've seen, there are songs, albums you've seen that I've written on. Songs I've written. My name is nowhere, not a dollar. But those relationships I have to this day. When you see Mike Tyson in it's a new series we have for Hulu about the Miami Kingpins. Mike Tyson is featured. I mean, you name it, they're featured.
So you got a new series?
Yeah, it's coming up. It's about the black cocaine cowboys in Miami.
Really?
About Convertible Bird, Bo Diddley, these guys that all
And
the
it's a
rappers
video
rap
series?
about. No, it's a docu-series on it. It's a 3-part episodic series coming out.
And it's going to be
on Hulu.
On Hulu?
Yeah. We've been working on it for a minute.
So when that comes
out,
you're going to be back. You're going to be back.
Actually, Bert and everybody, we're going to come down. They've been harassing me to come down, man. So, bro, I just stay working. You know, that's my therapy.
And we don't want to celebrate that. But the idea is always getting a series on the Virgin Islands part of that game.
Yeah, but I'm happy you said
Virgin
that,
Islanders who have done from here to abroad to the whole thing. But listen, man, it's been Rise Up Morning Show. Peter, welcome home.
Yes.
Thanks for stopping by. Yeah. You're the first in-house guest.
Look at that.
And Rise Up Morning Show. In-house guest.
Look at that.
Because the others were pre-recording.
I like making history, Evan. I like making history. I have a thing.
So we want to say thank you. Thank you to you. Good luck on your projects. Good luck on everything that you have going. We went this morning until 9 a.m.
Wow.
So 6:30 to 9 a.m. Remember, we've been starting late.
Yeah.
We come back on time now and we do overtime. All right, so have a beautiful weekend. There's so much that's going on in the Virgin Islands. Whatever you decide to do, listen, be true to you, be true to God, be true to yourself, be fair to everyone. Let me tell you one thing, no. Enjoy paradise. The rest of the world freezing, and what we have here, it might be a little colder than it typically is. But if you're going to put your foot in the water, go and enjoy the beach. Go and enjoy some time with some youngsters. Go enjoy some time with some seniors. But make it memorable and enjoy the moment, because every day is a gift. Every day is a gift. You got to take advantage of that gift.
Have to, man. I always say we begin and remain in life where everybody wants to end up. You know, everyone wants to end up. Everybody spends their life, wealthy partners, different people. Man, Peter, that's a dream. I want to go come get a house down there. And we already here, man.
Yeah, man. So we got to enjoy it as well. So listen, enjoy what we have coming at AllAhWeTV so much. We're just going to be working. What we want you to do, like us on Facebook, of course, but we're pushing our subscription on YouTube. So subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you do that. And then, of course, we're working on the website. More to come, but next week, giveaways. I promise you, it's going to be there. Peter, man, it's been such an excellent morning. I want to thank you once again. All the best to you and your family. Prayers to your mom.
Yeah, she's doing better, man. She's walking again. The doctors are like, this is a miracle, but that's them island genes, bro. That's those, and God, you know, she's heavy in her God and her church, and she's walking, talking again, getting feisty again. So it's a blessing. It feels like a miracle.
That's
at 81.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. We had Mr. Peter in the studio. We're going to be out of here. Enjoy your weekend. And listen, party like everybody who you're going to see right here in this video.